I was 15 years old when funeral service first piqued my interest. A curious young gal who was uber eager to please everyone around her and was easily influenced by her peers. After 25 years devoting my life to the death industry, I walked away with nothing but a kick in the butt and a movie reel of tragic circumstance constantly playing over and over in my mind, like a movie that never stops, not even when I sleep. I saw a doctor about it once. She called it PTSD, and I call it a gift. Every day I'm reminded how fragile life is. She never really gave me any tips or tricks on how to manage the thoughts in my mind. She just wanted to know what the thoughts were. A little morbid? You betcha. And can you believe that doctor sadly passed away before I could finish up my scheduled appointments with her? Yep. I was like, well, there you have it. Another tragic clip on the movie reel. I decided to never speak to another doctor about what was going through my head. I used her death as an out. She took my secrets with her, like I never even said them, and I was okay with that. And I left funeral service for good that same year. Oh, how I wish I could see her now and say to her, look, I found my cure. I found my medicine.
Hi.
All she had to do was tell me, get rid of all your useless stuff, turn your back on this death life, put 2,100 kilometers between you and the people who've hurt you, find a secluded piece of land in the wilderness where you can groom dogs, forage the wild, hide from society for the rest of your life, and you'll be just fine. Why didn't she just say so?
Come in.
Well, friends, here we are in the Bunkie, also referred to as Eva's Bunkie. Manfred laid the flooring and we've started hanging the walls. Here's how it works. We do some work in our jobs, we make some money, we buy some materials, and little by little we pluck away at this. I love how Manfred made kind of like a third bunkie up top there. Not sure if Eva will want to sleep there or use that space as a closet or shelving unit, or who knows. When we know, you'll know, and I look forward to sharing this final journey of the bunkie build with you all. In the meantime, we have some other agendas and tours to make, so here we go. Off to our own private campground and trailhead, also known as the Super Secret Sisters Sanctuary and Tia's Trail. Time for my daily overdose of nature's medicine. Tent trailer is open. You guys, we moved the tent trailer. It used to be parked right here, but Manfred didn't like the thought of having to cross the water to go to the fire pit. So we were trying to find another area to put the fire pit on this side of the water, and the only area that was best was where the trailer was parked. So we moved the trailer to the other corner here, popped it open last night. I'm smiling because it nearly put Manfred over the edge. It did for a second. It nearly got burned last night, the tent trailer, trying to put it together. Oh, you guys, but basically it's put together and we can use it, but it can never move again. We can never collapse that down again. So it's going to remain open for as long as it can handle the elements. I'm kind of hoping, and we are both kind of hoping, that maybe through the winter we could do a little winter camp out in there. So we're just going to leave it open. There's nothing we can do. It's busted, it's rotting, it's old, very, very old. There could be bugs and stuff, so it needs a good clean. I'm going to show you the tent trailer in a minute. But first, that's where the tent trailer was parked, because we thought it would be nice to be parked right by the water there. But the fire pit that I made is right over there, which we're keeping because I love that fire pit. But that area over there can be another little area to pitch a tent or have another camp out on that side. So there's a couple areas. There's Tia's bed. We're not sure where we're going to put that yet. I'm going to move it. I think I'm going to move it over here. Anyway, so we put another fire pit right here. I built it up last night, while my friend started setting up the trailer. So there you have that. Another fire pit right by the water, which is coming down to a slow trickle these days. Water level is really low. If you remember early spring, there was rapids here, like it fluctuates the water. So you can still hear it running. I don't think it ever stops completely, but it definitely slows right down. So nice still though. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim all day long. I am going to start down at the sanctuary here. Now that we moved the trailer, I want to trim all in here and clean up around this fire pit. You can see where I've only trimmed once, but you can see what a difference it made to be able to get through here. Otherwise it'd be this tall, So I can go all the way to this side of our property. And there's a nice little sitting area right here. You can watch the water go by when there's a lot of water, but look at how low it is. Still sounds pretty though. Listen to that bird. How beautiful. Hi, birds. It's so nice in here. These are apple trees here. This one really turned out nice this year. Last year it was all half dead, and we trimmed it all up. And now it looks amazing. I actually named this tree Brooke, and then I decided not to get too attached to her because we assumed she'd have to come down completely, but she's here to stay, man. She is beautiful. So Brooke, I can now resume my relationship with you. I sit here by Brooke all the time on my mossy stool. I call it the mossy stool. It's just a rock, basically. Antlers I found on a trail. Check out the tulips Mom sent me are growing nicely. They likely won't flower this year, obviously, but next year I'll know what color they are. And check out these cow parsnips. They grow beautiful, beautiful flowers. I don't know, there's just more leaves coming here, but they get this beautiful flower. I can't wait to show you. I really love plants. So dainty, but so pretty. Here's the sign that I found. It's like an old sign found on our trail. So I put it there. I think it's just kind of neat. It's like antique-ish, That's Tia's trail where she's going. So remember, this is our other fire pit. Amazing for cooking on. And then there is a trail that kind of goes in here, and that takes you out to like the wild. Like it's really wild back there. There's also a little swimming hole, like a deep hole over there that I like to dunk in the summer. Okay, here's the tent trailer. You can plop that down and make a bed here and have 1, 2, and 3. But I like to have the table here And everything works here. Like, we could fire up the generator and run everything if we wanted to. Long story short, it's an old trailer, lots to clean up, mice damage from Ontario, patch up work, but it'll do. Off-grid camping tent. So if man friend and I decide, you know what, let's go camping at the campground, we can just walk down anytime and just camp out.
There might be 27 years to come. Running across the border, following the water, make the most of every notion. Soaring like a kite, higher than a mite. Baby, I can see the ocean run. Baby, run, run like the river runs. You will become one with the ocean. One day we're gonna meet again. Until then, run like the river runs.
Fun times. Okay, so basically it's been a few days of just playing in the woods and puttering outside, but also, I do dog grooming anywhere between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. I'm grooming dogs. And then sometimes after I'm done grooming, I go straight to the Airbnb that I clean and I do a few hours over there cleaning. And when I don't, then I do chores around here. I always have a couple hours until my daughter gets off the bus. So, oh, swallowtail. Buddy, come on my hand. No? Swallowtail butterfly. So you've had a little tour of the Bunkie. You've had a little tour of my trail. You've seen the new dock, which is awesome, by the way. Man-friend and I anchored it right to the rock in multiple ways and then tied the floating dock to that. It's good times. Very good times out here. So you've had that. There's nothing much more new about the man shop. There's still more work to do in there. Man-friend is considering putting like some sort of a Murphy bed or an extra little sleeping area out there so that if we have guests, we have an extra room in the RV. The RV is still wonderful. I'm waiting to give you a proper tour of it until our daughter is moved into the Bunkie because I'm going to be fixing up her room into a really nice little guest suite. And so when that's all done, I can reorganize and clean it, and then I'll give you a proper tour of the RV. But just know that it is very cozy in there. We sleep very well. We love it. So it's a small little house, but really it doesn't feel small to us at all. It's crazy weird. I'm done grooming now for the day. Until I get my daughter off the bus, I have a couple hours. So I thought I'd give you a quick little shot of the garden, how it's coming along. And then I've got to do more trimming, but I'm not going to put you through all that. The weather around here, we don't really get super duper hot here even through the summer. Like 25 is like the warmest, and if it gets above 25, that's really warm. So right now it's perfect for trimming. I know I'm wearing a hoodie, but the wind is cool. Anytime the wind comes kind of from the west, and that's what we're getting a little bit today. It's always cool, I find. North and west winds, chilly, but the sun is so warm and bright that it feels good, Tomatoes, peppers, a little marigold. I was gonna stake them up, but I'm gonna let them just kind of grow along the ledge there. And then it hopefully will produce some peas. And there's also some radish there. And the chard. Lettuce and more lettuce over there. And these are all beet greens. I harvested already the first bit of beet greens. We had them last night with our steak. They're so yummy. They were so small, but I have to thin them out, right? So because they're so small, I just chopped them up really fine and put it in with some green onion and sour cream and mixed it all up, and we put it on our potatoes. It was so good. Speaking of potatoes, these are ready to be mounded for the last time, which I'm going to get to. I'll get to that, but they're doing really well. So I got to mound that up. I'm going to add another bag of soil on top. I'm just going to dump it right on top and just leave little bits of the green. And then I roll up this bag right up, fill it with soil, and then that's the last roll. And then it will fill right up and flower and all that. And the beans have just popped up in the last few days. You got some beans. There's one. Doop. Some cilantro that almost got damaged from frost, but it came back. And the dill is doing really well too, the dill. And there's my sage. There's a little marigold getting a flower. And then sunflowers. Of course, you gotta have sunflowers. So these are green onions. And they're ready. I could snip off a little bit off the top and just eat the greens. But last night I just wanted to have one, so I pulled one. And I gave Manfred the big piece of it, and then I used the greens in the sour cream. So that's that. That's the garden. Oh, and the chives. Of course, there's chives. That's that. That's it. That's the garden. All right, well, I gotta get some work done, so I'm gonna start running the trimmer.